St. Joe's Prep is back at it and come in undefeated in PCL play after their second total loss of the season to Germantown Academy on Saturday. The Prep come into this game looking to keep their streak alive in the PCL against Archbishop Carroll at Rutgers Camden, and it starts right now. Hawks baseball back on WSJP. We are here at Rutgers Camden as St. Joe's Prep take on Archbishop Carroll in a PCL matchup in one of the most highly anticipated matchups of the day. For today's broadcast, I'm Ryan Sullivan, joined by Cristiano Forcina. Cristiano, first ever baseball game, first ever broadcast you're on. I know you're a photographer, but how are we feeling today?
Feeling excited. Been waiting for this moment ever since you told me about a week ago today. You said, I'm going to be on the broadcast. I've been waiting for this moment, honestly. Watched a lot of John Kruk film, trying to get a feel for the color commentary for baseball, how it can go. I'm just excited. This is going to be an amazing matchup today, so I'm feel honored to be able to be on the mic with you and for this amazing prep team.
Well, it's great here. First time on WSJP. You love to see it. Cristiano puts his photos on Instagram. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at SJP Broadcast and stay up to everything St. Joe's Prep Sports. But Cristiano, let's talk about it. Coming into today, St. Joe's Prep, they had a tough loss to Germantown Academy, 6-3 on Saturdays. We're about to get the throwdown in just a few moments. We'll get started here at Rutgers Camden. But as I just mentioned, Cristiano, 6-3 loss against Germantown Academy on Saturday. You were at that game. Talk to me about what you saw about that.
I mean, it was a good performance from the Prep, especially considering their everyday starters didn't get the opportunity to play. They wanted to give some of their backups more of a chance to get in. And it was a close game, honestly, throughout the whole way. We made a nice little comeback in the bottom of the 6th inning, and I think we're going to keep some momentum, definitely, from that. I mean, tough loss, obviously. Weren't able to hold on to it, but yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, I mean, we will definitely see Miritu Rupertus on the mound for St. Joe's Prep here today, and Miritu has played great in his 3 appearances. No earned runs, only 1 hit in 8 innings pitched total, 13 strikeouts for the Bonnies commit. Shout out Mr. Burns. Gavin Moore up for Archbishop Carroll with a 182 batting average on the year. First pitch from Miritu Rupertus, a bit inside and low for a ball. Rupertus, as I mentioned, no earned runs given up. Archbishop Carroll's bench, or dugout, whatever you want to call it, making some noise already. Second pitch a bit high, 2-0 to Moore.
I mean, you just look at this Prep pitching staff, Rupertus, Grasso, and even Cole Kuhn when he is fully pitching and stuff. They've got quite the rotation.
Moore hits that sharply to third base to Jack Keenan as he makes the throw over to first. The play is made for the first out of the inning. Jack Keenan playing at third base this season. We've seen him there pretty much every single game, and he has made that adjustment great. Will Ward, who was at first base, was playing third last season. He's made that adjustment as well. We'll see both those guys hopefully come to bat next inning. But up next for Archbishop Carroll will be Ryan McGaughey as he hits this one foul on the first pitch. McGaughey this season coming in with a 200 average and 19 plate appearances. As Miritu Rupertus, we know the gas that he throws. He's been throwing it here early. 3 pitches total in the inning. His 4th one drops in there for a strike. That time he put it off speed. Iannicone behind the plate today for St. Joe's Prep. McCauley jumping back into the batter's box quickly as Rupertus fires. And he puts him away. The ball goes into the dirt. Iannicone throw over to first. High throw to Ward, but the play is made for the out. Miritu Rupertus, his first strikeout of the game.
Yeah, Rupertus, quite the pitcher, as I said. He's got about 13 strikeouts on the season. I mean, it's just the numbers you love to see from such an amazing pitcher like him.
No doubt about it. Up next for Archbishop Carroll will be Colin Moran. Moran playing first base here today. A .385 batting average in 28 plate appearances. There is a reason that he is the 3rd hole hitter as Miritu throws this one to the backstop, ball 1. Even with 2 outs in the inning, Archbishop Carroll's bench still making noise. And you love to see it from them. The Hawks pretty quiet to start this game. Definitely will probably hear them as the game continues to move on.
Yeah, this Hawks team run a lot off of momentum. They've got great bench, great group of guys, so be prepared to hear them make tons of noise throughout this game.
First time Rupertus is facing a lefty here today. Actually, I apologize. Second time he's facing a lefty here today. Rupertus on the 2-0. Puts that very inside, just off of Iannacone's glove. 3-0 to start. Rupertus did pitch 2-0 to Moore to start the inning. But this time he puts it 3-0 as he's in risk of giving up a walk.
Yeah, Moore, and not really someone you've seen walk too much. Only got one on the season, but
as he hits this one high and just behind Jack Keenan. It didn't look like he could see it in the sun. 3-1.
Then again, you get a base runner on from the walk. It works out.
Walk's just as good as a hit.
Exactly.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But now 3-1 to Moran. Moran wearing the hoodie today. Something you don't typically see in baseball games, but it is a bit windy here at Rutgers Camden. Rupertus fires, puts it in for a strike.
It's also going to get pretty chilly here as the sun is starting to go down.
We are somewhat near
right
the
by
water.
the water.
Yeah, I was just about to mention.
So, pretty open field too, so it's going to get pretty chilly, I feel like. Windy, all of that.
It's been windy ever since we got here. The equipment almost blew away. 3-2 for Rupertus. Iannacone jumps a bit to his left as Rupertus puts this one right down the plate, and it goes out of play. Here to Rupertus, already one strikeout here today. The other was a ground out to Jack Keenan. That one on the first at-bat of this game. Moran, though, staying alive, making Rupertus pitch, as it is once again going to be 3-2 to Moran. Rupertus jumps right back onto the mound. He is somebody that is quick to talk to Iannacone as Moran jumps out of the batter's box quickly. Not necessarily sure if he expected Rupertus to be that ready and locked in, but Rupertus is already back on the mound and ready to deliver. Moran very in the batter's box as Rupertus strikes him out on the off-speed. Mirror to Rupertus, 2 strikeouts in the inning as we go to the bottom of the first.
I mean, perhaps looking to put on some early runs. I think they can do it. I mean, this Carroll team's good. You got great pitcher on the mound today in Stadnicki. He's a great player. So let's see if we can tag on some runs, take an early lead, and be able to hold on to that throughout the game.
Yeah, as Cristiano mentioned, Stadnicki on the mound today for Archbishop Carroll. And in 3 appearances for him, a 1.31 ERA, 16 innings pitched, I apologize there. A opponent batting average of .194, so not many guys making contact off of him. And he'll make the start today for Archbishop Carroll. The Hawks, pretty similar batting lineup to what we've seen throughout the course of the season. Iannacone, Veza, and Grasso to lead things off. Grasso, though, in left field here today. Don't typically see Grasso play in the field. He has played first base this season. I believe he played maybe left field once. I'm not sure if he played third base. I don't necessarily remember off the top of my head. I apologize for that. But Grasso making his first start in left field today. He did play it at first against Lansdale Catholic. Grasso, as we know, also a pitcher on St. Joe's Prep. As it will be Emilio Iannacone to step up for St. Joe's Prep here today. But Cristiano, man, let's talk about the hitting here before Iannacone steps up to the plate. The Hawks, we talked about the pitching. You talked about Cole Kuhn, Mirtu Rupertus, and Chris Grasso. But the Prep this season, a team that has come in hitting the ball very, very well, a team batting average of .348 to start the season. I mean, that is very, very impressive.
Yeah, you see a lot of production, especially coming from these top 3 guys, Iannacone, Veza, and Grasso. 3 very good players.
Yeah.
So you see a lot from them.
No doubt about it. Iannacone second on the team in hits this season, as he is coming into this game with a .409 batting average and 28 plate appearances. As I mentioned, 9 hits. He's knocked in 3 RBIs this season, 3 doubles as well for the Prep. That leads the team. As Stadnicki will throw down in just a moment. And it looks like this will be the last pitch before Emilio Iannacone steps up into the plate for St. Joe's Prep. Second game at Rutgers Camden for St. Joe's Prep this season. We'll have one more, at least in the regular season. We'll play Cardinal O'Hara here in just actually 2 weeks on the 27th. That'll be another 7 p.m. game here live on WSJP. We also just announced well, not necessarily, I guess you could say announced. We did put up on the YouTube channel that we will be making the trip down to D.C. on Friday as the Hawks will take on St. John's College High School at the University of Maryland's home field, home diamond, if you will. We'll talk about that more later as the broadcast continues. Emilio Iannicone will get the first pitch fouled off out of play.
Yeah, Iannicone's coming into this game, as you said, batting .409 on the season through 28 plate appearances. He's a great leadoff guy, gets on base, exactly what you want from him. Also a pretty good defensive catcher behind the dish.
Iannicone takes the second pitch a bit high as he steps out of the batter's box. Still called for a strike. He's down 0-2 quickly. Iannicone, most like Archbishop Carroll batters, is really in that batter's box, not giving Stanicki any room, as there will be a mound visit here early in this game. Don't typically see that within 2 pitches. Nonetheless, though, hopefully Archbishop Carroll, they can get everything down, as maybe they're not on the same page. I'm not necessarily sure. McNally behind the plate today for Archbishop Carroll, so hopefully for their sake, him and Stanicki are on the same page. 0-2 quickly to Iannicone. Stanicki takes a deep breath. He sets and he fires. Iannicone fouls that one off once again, staying alive. 4 pitches in an at-bat. Nothing to sneeze at if you are Emilio Iannicone, as he quickly steps back into the batter's box. No practice swings for Iannicone. Stanicki once again trying to get Iannicone out of this game for his first out of the inning, as Iannicone once again will foul this one off.
Yeah, he's really fighting off these pitches. Eventually, he's got to get a hold of one. Contributes to that batting average. You know, he's a great player.
Not one man wanting to let up. We'll see if one will let up here. As Iannicone swings and misses on that one. Strike 3, but 6 pitches in the at-bat. Give credit where credit is due to Emilio Iannicone.
Yeah, Iannicone, not really much of a big strikeout guy. He's only got 3 on the season so far, tallying up to his 4th. I mean, you don't really see that much from him.
Yeah, Iannicone, definitely a great leadoff for St. Joe's Prep. I don't have any doubt in my mind that he will knock one through the gap moving forward. Pat Vezza up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep. 8 games this season, a .269 batting average and 29 plate appearances. Stanicki trying to get his second out of the game. First pitch dropped by McNally, called for a ball. Here we go, quick pitch. I could barely update the scoreboard before Stanicki is back on the mound and Vezza is ready to hit the ball. As Vezza hits this one to center field for a base hit. Pat Vezza, the first base runner of the day.
Yeah, you see it a lot. 2-hitter, obviously expected to get on base a lot. He's a very good hitter. He's got a good amount of hits on the season so far with 7 through 8 games and 29 plate appearances. Batting .269 before that at-bat. Quite the player.
Beautiful pure hit up the middle from Pat Vezza, as that will bring up Chris Grasso. 9 games for him, a .273 average in 29 plate appearances. 8 runs and 6 hits as Grasso swings on the off-speed, 0-1.
Yeah, Grasso's one of the many players going to play college baseball on this prep team. Committed to Miami, I believe, in the fall. So
In a couple of years. It's my class.
well, I mean, like
I gotcha.
he committed to.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Fall.
I gotcha. Throw back to first on the pickoff attempt. Vezza in safely. Stanicki taking a lot of deep breaths as he takes the pitches, as Grasso takes the next pitch for a strike. Grasso shakes his head as he leaves the batter's box, not liking that call. Stanicki already has 1 strikeout today. He struck out Emilio Iannicone just 2 batters ago, looking for his second of this inning and his second of the day. Vezza, solid lead off first, as Grasso will foul this one off, similar to Emilio Iannicone. Grasso staying alive. Sun going down here in, we're in New Jersey technically, but just over the bridge, just over that Ben Franklin Bridge, going to Philadelphia, where we know and love. Only about a 10-minute drive. 20
Not bad
minute,
at
yeah,
all.
20-minute, 15-minute drive here. It's not that bad.
Very beautiful field
Yeah.
here at Rutgers
This
Camden.
is, I mean, I don't want to down anybody else's field. This is probably the best one. As Grasso swings through that one for a strike. And he will go down on strikes. Grasso this season, he leads the team in strikeouts, now with 9 on the season. That'll be the second out of the inning.
One of the biggest stories coming to this game has been Will Ward and his amazing hitting for the Prep.
Yeah, Will Ward this season has been absolutely incredible for St. Joe's Prep. A .423 batting average in 36 plate appearances, leads the team in hits with 11, the only guy with double-digit hits this season for the Hawks.
He's also got a home run to his name.
Also a home run. Pickoff attempt to first, nothing there. Veza slides in safely. Will Ward, we know we can hit for power. Archbishop Carroll not necessarily backing up for him. They are somewhat near the warning track. As Wardy hits this one into right field. That one is deep, and it will go to the wall. Veza, he's heading for third, and he will go home. This is going to be a play at the plate. Here it is. Veza, he is safe. Will Ward, an RBI double to lead things off for St. Joe's Prep.
I mean, that ball was just absolutely crushed by Ward. He's got 8 RBIs on the season, putting him up to number 9 now, leading the team by a pretty solid amount. I mean, continues his amazing season so far with a nice double there.
It feels pretty comical that I said Archbishop Carroll didn't really back up for Will Ward, and he hits one right to the wall.
Yeah, very ironic.
Ward off a second, nobody holding him on as Jack Keenan's up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep. Keenan swings through the first pitch right down the plate for a strike.
Keenan's also having a pretty good season, batting .300 through 27 plate appearances, 6 hits to his name. I mean, doing his job. Great third baseman, too, making the adjustment you said.
We'll see if he can drive in Ward as he swings on that one. Hit to third base. It stays fair. It's going to be a tough play over to first. Keenan is out, and that will end the inning, but not before St. Joe's Prep able to get their first run of the ball game. Will Ward, an RBI double to get the Hawks out to an early lead here at Rutgers Camden, and Mira Rupertus taking the mound for St. Joe's Prep. We'll take a break on WSJP. We'll be back in a few moments. Back on WSJP, second inning action of St. Joseph's Prep versus Archbishop Carroll. McNally is up, the catcher today for Archbishop Carroll at the 3-hole slot. Mira Rupertus had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. As this one is hit into center field, Van Deen moving to his right, and he makes the catch.
Yeah, McNally leading the team in batting average at .529 on the season. You don't really expect to see him get out much. Then again, it is basically 50-50.
Mira Rupertus, 1 pitch, 1 out, 50-50, I guess so. But baseball, a game of failure, if you will. Barnes is now up, the third baseman today for Archbishop Carroll. He made a great play over at first to end the inning just a few moments ago as Mira Rupertus drops the first pitch in for a strike.
Colin Barnes also having a very good season, batting .385 through 28 plate appearances. I mean, this Carroll lineup hits very well, just looking at the stat sheet.
Another off speed from Rupertus. There's 2 strikes already. We normally see Rupertus drop the heat, But today he's going a little bit more off speed. You know, we talked about the top of the broadcast, the heat. And I was even telling you before the game, Rupertus, he throws heat, but today he's giving them something different. As the 0-2 is hit high and it will go out of play. It's actually going for Dr. Rupertus. This one almost hit a lady in her in the stroller. That would have been a pretty disastrous. We've been lucky this year. We have not had any injuries or cars hit. So I hope we can keep it that way. But anyway, back to here. Rupertus delivers the 0-2 and he puts it in. Strike 3 called. Got him looking. Mirror to Rupertus. 3 strikeouts today. Gilroy is now up for Archbishop Carroll. 217 average and 26 plate appearances this season. Mirror to Rupertus looking for another quick inning as he puts the first pitch high, ball 1. Two outs are in the inning for Mirror to Rupertus and company. Iannacone jumps to his right. Right down the plate, got him swinging. Mirror to Rupertus. Now he's throwing the heat. Rupertus likes the first call from Iannacone. As this next pitch, right there, swinging for a strike. Rupertus trying to make this another quick inning, as I mentioned a few moments ago, for St. Joe's Prep. It's already 1-2. To get the hot bats of the Hawks back up to the plate, Rupertus takes a deep breath, and he puts it a bit high, 2-2. Through the momentum, that could have been a real momentum getter for St. Joe's Prep. Gilroy lives to see another pitch. Iannacone jumps to his right, might see off speed. Right down the plate, though, nonetheless. Mirror to Rupertus gets Gilroy swinging to end the top half of the first inning. He's got 4 strikeouts already.
Yeah, Rupertus continuing his streak of 0 earned runs on the season so far through about 10 innings pitched.
Back on WSJP, Johnny Sittler up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep. After the RBI double from Will Ward in the first inning, the Prep take a 1-0 lead heading into the second, or the bottom of the second, I apologize.
Yeah, Sittler come up to the plate, batting .350, 23 plate appearances, scored a decent amount of times, 5 times, 7 hits on the year. So I expect good things from this at-bat.
Stan Nicky back at it for Archbishop Carroll as he puts the first pitch on the outside for a ball. Stan Nicky, he sets and he fires. Sittler checks swing, still called for a strike. Sittler, as Cristiano mentioned, a very solid season for him at .350 average in 7 games played, 23 plate appearances. 7 hits on the team for Sittler. On the season for Sittler, I apologize. Here's the 1-1. Sittler swings through that one for another strike, 1-2. Stanicki, a very solid job here today with 2 strikeouts already. Sittler back in the batter's box quickly, though. Looks for another strikeout as Sittler will foul this one off, and it seems like a theme here earlier in this game, Cristiano. The Hawks, they are staying alive.
Yeah, they're fighting off all these pitches, putting together good, pretty long at-bats, I'd say. So, pitch counts just going up for Carroll, so we'll see how long he can go.
Sittler takes this next pitch on the outside, 2-2. Stanicki deals to Sittler, takes this one on the outside again, 3-2, full count. And it has been a great and solid at-bats for St. Joe's Prep here today. Sittler takes a 3-2, but he swings on this one and misses. 3 strikeouts today for Stanicki. Johnny Sittler down on strikes. Danny Matthews up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep, and a great story Danny Matthews has, as we mentioned throughout the broadcast throughout this season. 375 average for Matthews, 21 plate appearances, arguably the savior of the game against Conwell Egan. Matthews, he shut down Egan the last 2 innings as the Hawks got their bats back up to the plate and were dominating. Matthews swings on the first pitch, 0-1.
Yeah, Matthews has been doing everything both ways, honestly. Hitting very well, as you said, and he's also pitched well. I remember first game of the year against Haverford, threw an amazing game and a great pitching duel. So, very exciting player to watch.
Yeah, Matthews this season has been great on the mound and up at the plate. McNally jumping a bit to the outside. As Matthews takes the 0-2 and he fouls this one off again. Goes out of play. It's still 0-2. McNally out of the catcher's box, if you will. 0-2 to Matthews as he takes it on the outside, 1-2. Matthews steps back in slowly. The Hawks making Stanicki take his time in there. 1 out in the inning, 1-2 to Matthews. On the outside again on the off-speed, 2-2. And I mean, Cristiano, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but the Hawks, they've continuously stayed alive in these at-bats, making Stanicki pitch.
Putting together some great at-bats and stuff. This is going to be a good game for the Prep. They can get some walks, get guys on base. I believe firmly that they can drive these guys in.
Full count to Matthews. It was just a full count to Sittler as he was fouling pitches off, and now it's to Danny Matthews. Full count again in this inning as Matthews fouls this one back. Once again, it's a full count. I mean, how much more is there to say as the Prep just keep staying alive in these at-bats? They already have their run, and I'm sure they'd like to get on base once again here. Full count to Matthews as he once again fouls it off.
I mean, it just feels like every ball's going foul at this point. Just swinging, just won't stop swinging. Eventually, one of them's got to get put in play for a nice hit.
McNally jumps to the right a bit inside. 3-2 comes again. This time outside, ball 4. Take your base, Danny Matthews. St. Joe's Prep get a runner on. And Cristiano, it kind of feels like that is what was to be expected at some point for St. Joe's Prep. They had all these full counts. He wanted to eventually get somebody on.
Yeah, Matthews puts together 7th walk of the season. Amazing at-bat by him. Stayed alive, brought up the pitch count. Now got a base runner on for St. Joe's Prep.
Alex Orespi up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep in that 8-hole slot. Throw back to first. That one goes past the first base line. Matthews advancing to second. He might try to go for third, and he will. Danny Matthews to third base. He is safe.
That's just a great piece of base running there. Great awareness to realize first baseman didn't have it in his hand yet. Was able to make that turn, use his speed to get into third.
I mean, pretty much a 5-tool player, Danny Matthews. He's been fielding, he's been hitting, he's been pitching, he's running, and am I missing a tool? I don't even know which one it is. That's all right, whatever. Alex Orespi, didn't even get a chance to gloat about him, but there is reason to do so as he's batting .368 on the season in 24 plate appearances, infield in for Archbishop Carroll. As Orespi takes the first pitch for a strike, a bit inside. 1 out in the inning for St. Joe's Prep, so you would like to see something in play for the Hawks.
Yeah, Respi's a great guy to have up, especially with runners on. He's got 8 RBIs on the season. I mean, infield playing in, too. Just float one right over them. Nice RBI right there to put him for first on the team.
Orespi swings and misses on that next one. It's 0-2. George Van Deen in the box for on deck for St. Joe's Prep. I mean, he's in the batter's circle, on the box, on deck, whatever.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. 0-2 to Orespi. As he chops this one to short, Matthews on his way home. They will elect to just throw to first. They will get Orespi out, but Danny Matthews scores. St. Joe's Prep take a 2-0 lead. Still an RBI for Alex Orespi.
Yes, now we come to the 9-hitter, George Van Deen. Another great player. Crazy to think that we have such a good player hitting 9, too, at the bottom of the order.
Yeah, Van Deen, I mean, I could make the argument as the best 9-hole hitter in the PCL. I don't think many guys are better than Van Deen as he hits this one to third base. It's going to be a tough throw over to first. We know the speed of Van Deen. The play is made for the out to end the inning. And that will do it here in the bottom of the second. It is a 2-0 lead for St. Joe's Prep. We'll take a short break on WSJP. We'll be back in a few moments. Meritu Rupertus already 4 strikeouts today as he comes back on for his 3rd inning of work here at Rutgers Camden. Cole Tancredi taking the plate for Archbishop Carroll. 7 games played, a 162 average, and 28 plate appearances for him. First pitch from Meritu, drops it in for a strike. The off speed today for Meritu Rupertus has been great. Iannacone jumps to his right. Heat down the middle as this one is hit to left center field. Van Deen moves to his left and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. The designated hitter, Panici, coming to the mound, or coming to the plate, I apologize, for Archbishop Carroll.
Yeah, Panici hitting well this season. He's only got 10 plate appearances, which total up to about 5 at-bats. 4 walks, batting .400 though, so looking promising in the very few amount of at-bats he's had.
One out in the inning for Rupertus. Oh my goodness, got him to jump out of the batter's box. Meritu Rupertus. He is on fire tonight. Hopefully that was no announcer's jinx. Knock on wood if you are at home. Iannacone jumping out to his right. Don't really know what to expect here. This one goes to the backstop. Rupertus sometimes this season has gotten a few pitches to get out of his control. Not for the most part, though, nonetheless. One to Rupertus. Or from Rupertus, I apologize. Got him the check swing. It looks like he went around. Home plate umpire says he did. It's 1-2. Rupertus takes a deep breath. Puts this one on the outside. 2-2. Now, Cristiano, it's that big debate. Do you give him something to swing at when it's 1-2 or 0-2? You try to get him out, or you just throw something that's,
I think with 1 and 2, you have your wiggle room to try to make
Right.
him swing at something just a bit outside the zone. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he throws off speed outside the zone just to try to generate a hit on a pitch that moves away from the batter.
2-2 from Rupertus, and he gets him swinging. Meritu Rupertus, have yourself a day.
Yeah, he's just having an incredible game overall. I mean, I don't know how many times we're going to say it. Great pitcher, 0 earned runs on the season. This is what you expect from a pitcher of his caliber. He's just such a good player.
Thompson up to the plate for Archbishop Carroll. He does not have a hit in 9 plate appearances. As Meritu Rupertus looks to end the inning. As Thompson hits this one into foul play. Running in on it was Veza, and he makes the catch to end the inning. 9 up, 9 down for Meritu Rupertus as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. I mean, once again, Cristiano, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but Meritu Rupertus, 9 at-bats for Archbishop Carroll, no hits, not even a base runner.
I mean, you don't want to jinx it there.
That's fair.
You
That's
don't
on
want
me.
to jinx it. I mean, I hope he can keep this up. I mean, it would be so cool. My first game commentating to be a no-hitter, but
Oh, Cristiano.
I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. It's
Yeah.
only 3rd inning, but I think if anyone's going to do it, it's Meritu.
Yeah, Meritu Rupertus has been great. We know him as the Bonnie's commit. Once again, shout out Mr. Burns, but he has been great this year, and it seems like more today. We talked about before the broadcast, talked about on the broadcast. The heat, the speed he puts down the plate, but the off speed today has seemed to really just shake up Archbishop Carroll.
Yeah, he's just been on point on all aspects of his game. As you keep saying it over and over again, but throws heat and his off speed perfect today, honestly. I mean, having quite the game so far. Let's see if he can keep it up.
Emilio Iannacone coming to the plate for St. Joe's Prep as he is coming up for his 2nd at-bat. Iannacone 0 for 1 today. He struck out, but just like many hitters in the St. Joe's Prep lineup for the first time through the order, he kept the at-bat alive, and he was making Stanicki pitch to him a lot. We'll see if Iannacone can do that again. The Hawks, though, in 8 total at-bats, as Danny Matthews, he did walk in the last inning. The Hawks had 2 hits their first time through the order, which gave them a 2-0 lead. So the Hawks not producing many base runners, but utilizing them when they got them. Iannacone has to slam his bat into the ground to get the what do they call that? The warm up? I don't know what they call it. The weighted warm up thing.
It's
I
the
don't
way
know.
it helps with
weight.
bat speed.
Yeah, I was never the. I was a good fielder. I couldn't hit. So
Yeah, I remember.
So
Eighth
I
grade-
rarely hit.
8th grade Waldron baseball.
Yeah, I was the fielder. I was the utility man, if you will. First pitch to Iannacone on the outside, called for a ball. Want to know?
I remember you kept playing catcher just like Iannacone.
Yeah, I think Iannacone might be a little bit better than I was, but you know what? I like to think of myself that way. Iannacone once again takes the ball on the outside, 2-0. As I just mentioned, to Iannacone. The Hawks been able to keep bats alive. We'll see if they can produce more base runners from it. Iannacone hits this one to right field for a base hit. He holds it at first base. Emilio Iannacone gets on for the first time today. And that will bring up John Weaver just like clockwork. He will be the complimentary runner for St. Joe's Prep. Now, last year we saw George Van Deen be that complimentary runner for Emilio Iannacone. This year it is John Weaver, but for good reason. John Weaver this season, he leads the team in runs with 11. Also has 5 stolen bases this year. You would expect him to maybe get off. As Pat Vezza comes to the plate. Vezza 1 for 1 today with a base hit in the first inning. See if he can maybe drive Weaver around the bases, as that one's right down the plate for a strike.
Yeah, Vezza had that first inning hit that he ended up scoring later that inning, so I'd like to see if he can get on base again, keep the game going.
Weaver dancing around at the plate as Vezza check swings on that one for a strike. He leaves the plate a little upset with himself that he swung on that one, but he's now down 0-2. Stanicki has 3 strikeouts today, looking for his 4th. Once again, Weaver hopping around at first base. Feels like he's going to steal. He'll hold, though, as Vezza fouls this one off. That one goes into the other field.
Keeping up the trend of foul balls all day.
There has been a lot of foul balls.
The rate that there's been so far, we might be able to even get one today.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know if I want to come over here, but nonetheless.
True. We do have the roof over us.
Weaver takes off to second, and lucky for him, the ball goes into the turf. John Weaver with a stolen base.
So now we got a runner in scoring position for Vezza here. Let's see if he can turn this at-bat into a nice RBI. Give the Prep an even bigger lead than they already do.
We'll see if they can. We know the speed of John Weaver. I mentioned it when he came on as the complimentary runner. It is 1-2 to Vezza. And he hits this one into center field, and it will get down for a base hit. Weaver, he hesitated a bit at second, so he'll only get the third, but runners on the corners now with no outs.
So now this is going to bring up Prep's 3-hitter in Chris Grasso, the Miami commit.
Yeah, Grasso, this is who you want on the plate for at the plate, I apologize, for St. Joe's Prep. As there will be a mound visit for Archbishop Carroll.
Yeah, you got an intimidating guy at the plate, Grasso. I mean, big guy. I mean, got tons of power on him. So we'll see. I mean, tough guy to get out. So
Grasso, he did strike out in his first at-bat, so it can be done. But now with runners on the corners, this is when Chris Grasso shines. I mean, Cristiano, you saw in the last game against Germantown Academy, Grasso had an RBI base hit to help tie the game up in that 6th inning for the Hawks.
Yeah, definitely such a great hitter. No wonder why a prestigious school such as Miami would come after him.
No doubt about it. They were calling immediately when he was available. First pitch low, ball one. McNally behind the plate is going to have to be mindful of John Weaver at third, one of the speediest guys on the team.
Yeah, now feels like a prime spot for Veza to potentially steal a base because they're going to be worried about Weaver's speed.
Well, there he goes. Veza stealing second, and Weaver going to get caught in a rundown. Beautiful play from Stanicki to catch the ball at the plate. Weaver, he dodges the tag, but he stepped off the base path, and he will be out.
Yeah, that's always rough. I mean, it's great play. Fake pickoff, or not fake pickoff, fake throwdown.
It was a great catch by Stanicki at the mound. He realized that Weaver was stealing home. And Veza, he actually got all the way to third. So,
I mean, everyone
give
was
him
so
credit.
focused on Weaver. You didn't even notice Veza slip in.
Yeah, I didn't even see it as well. I just saw it a few moments ago. But Chris Grasso now still has a runner in scoring position just with one out, and he gets hit. So the Hawks, they will have runners on the corners again, but this go around it's with one out.
Yeah, now you got a guy like Will Ward at the dish. I mean, such a great hitter this season. He had the RBI double in the first inning. So let's see if he can bring in another guy.
Yeah, Will Ward already with an RBI today, had an RBI double. Grasso this season, he has been great in stealing bases. I don't think the Hawks are going to want to do a double steal again after the last play. Yeah, just after that last play, but we'll see. We'll see if it happens. Nonetheless, Will Ward, we'll see what he can do with one out. Grasso will steal nonetheless for a strike. No throw at the plate, so Chris Grasso gets a stolen base. So now both runners in scoring position with one out.
All you need here is a single and bump up the lead to 4-0.
Boom, that's 4 runs right there. Hopefully Will Ward can maybe hit another one to the wall. We will see.
Maybe even gets one over the wall this time.
Oh, that
He's
would
got
be
a homer
beautiful.
on the season.
He does, so it is possible. Next pitch low, ball one.
Can't forget your 4-hitter, your power hitter. I believe he can hit one over right here. I mean, pretty decently tall wall in right field. For lefty, he's going to pull it likely if he hits one over.
Yeah, let's see. Stanicki delivers as Ward hits this one foul, and it will go onto the netting. Archbishop Carroll warming a man up in the bullpen. I can't get a good look at the number as we speak, but they are warming a man up. 1-2 to Ward. It would be great for Archbishop Carroll to get out of this one with no runs given up, especially getting that second out. It would really help them to that point. Ward steps back in the batter's box, and Nicky wanted to get a new ball from the umpire specifically. Likes the call at the plate from McNally, who jumps out to his left. Ward takes that one on the outside. Good framing from McNally, but still called for a ball. Look at Jack Keenan being a man form with others, tossing the ball at the umpire. Love to see it.
I mean, that's what the prep trains you to do.
That is what the prep trains you to do. 2-2 to Ward. Ward calls time at the plate. Stanicki taking his time, delivering the pitch. Ward not going to let him determine when he sees the pitch. Two and two to Ward. Way inside, but nonetheless called for a strike. Will Ward down on strikes. Strikes out for the first time today. Now 2 outs in the inning with runners in scoring position. Jack Keenan up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep. He's 0 for 1 today. Stanicki trying to survive this one without any runs given up. And we'll see if he can do so. Jack Keenan going to have something to say about it for the Hawks as Keenan swings on the first pitch for a strike.
I mean, this is definitely a big opportunity to extend your lead for the prep. give your pitcher a little more breathing room, like make him know that the offense has him. So it'd be nice to capitalize on this in this scoring position.
This one, a chopper to short, and the play will not be made. 1 run will score. Runners on the corners as the Hawks take a 3-0 lead. Jack Keenan reaches on an error. As Pat Veza comes across the plate. That's his second scored run today. John Sittler up to the plate for St. Joe's Preps of the Hawks. They will come out of this inning with at least 1 run. Sittler trying to add another. Sittler, check swing on the first pitch, called for a strike nonetheless. Oh, and 1 to Sittler. He swings through the next one on the off speed. 0 and 2.
Yeah, Sittler already struck out earlier in the game. Let's see if he can get this bat to be productive.
Somebody yelling at Sittler. He's going outside. He's going outside. Hopefully, maybe Sittler heard that one. We'll see if he holds back on this one, but he swings and misses. John Sittler goes down for a second strikeout of the game. But nonetheless, St. Joe's Prep have taken a 3-0 lead heading into the top of the 4th inning. Mira to Rupertus coming out for another inning of work here on WSJP. After the throwdown here in the 4th inning, St. Joe's Prep out for another inning of work. Mira to Rupertus, as I mentioned in the last inning. 9 up, 9 down. Moore comes up to the plate for a second at-bat. Rupertus gets him to check swing on the first pitch, called for a ball. Most check swings have gone in the favor of St. Joe's Prep, but that one not going in the Hawks' favor. Can't win them all, though.
Yeah, Moore got out in the first inning, so let's see if he can turn it around.
We apologize. Some camera issues going in and out here on WSJP. All right, never mind. We're good. Apologize for that. Mira to Rupertus, though, delivers a strike. 1-1 to Moore. Rupertus delivers and puts in another strike. Got more swinging. It's 1 and 2. Rupertus taking little time to decide the pitch with Emilio Iannicone. Takes a deep breath, and he got him swinging. Mira to Rupertus. That is 6 on the day.
Yeah, Rupertus coming in, new inning, continuing his dominant pitching performance.
McGaughey up to the plate for Archbishop Carroll for his second at-bat. Rupertus looking to continue his dominance today. As McGaughey hits this one high into right field. Vezza backing up on it, and it goes over his head. This one will get to the wall. McGaughey will get into second safely. That is the first hit of the day and the first base runner for Archbishop Carroll.
Yeah, McGaughey, only about 3 hits on the season, batting 200 through 20 at-bats, but
That one kind of got caught in the dark a little bit and in the light. You know, I couldn't really see it. It'd be hard for Vezza to see it as well out there in right
I
field.
imagine. Also a bit windy here. I imagine wind definitely took that pitch a bit.
It didn't look like Vezza backed up enough on it, but nonetheless, Archbishop Carroll with a runner in scoring position, trying to add back one at Rutgers Camden, and Rupertus puts the first pitch very inside to Moran, 1-0. Moran has it.
In his first at-bat, Moran struck out, but now he's got a runner in scoring position, so maybe he'll be able to put something through here.
And Moran, as I mentioned, wearing that hoodie as you don't typically see. Off speed, right down the plate for a strike, 1-1. Moran steps back into the box quickly, but Miritu Rupertus steps on the rubber quickly as well. Both men not trying to let up here. Sittler holding McGaughey on at second. Pitch on the outside, 2-1. Moran steps out the batter's box. Umpire relays the count 2-1. Rupertus, though, whether it's a strike or a ball, nothing really seems to faze him as he is just continuously getting ready for the next pitch. I guess that's the mentality you gotta have. Off speed, beautiful pitch, but still a bit high. Called for a ball, 3-1. Archbishop Carroll looking to get their second base runner of the game here in the top of the fourth. Three and one. That was heat. On the top shelf from Miritu Rupertus. Moran caught a bit of the ball. A full count.
Yeah, Moran only able to draw 1 walk so far this season, so maybe they can tag on a second base runner so far.
And we'll see if he can get his second walk of the season. Miritu Rupertus trying to prevent that from happening. First time he looked back at McGaughey at second base, as this one, I believe it hit Moran, as he will get to first base, and that will keep McGaughey on second nonetheless. 2 runners on now with 1 out. McNally up to the plate for Archbishop Carroll, and he has an opportunity to be the game-tying run.
Batting .529 on the season. His first at-bat didn't really get anything going for him, which just got out, but maybe he can turn it around.
And McNally today batting in that 4-hole slot, as Rupertus puts that one right by him. Got him swinging in the turf for a strike. Beautiful sundown here at Rutgers Camden. You see the clouds here kind of in the night. So there is a beautiful baseball game happening as well. Off speed again, called for a strike. It's 0-2. Miritu Rupertus, first time today really having to deal with some adversity in the second time through the lineup. Went 9 up, 9 down the first time through the order. Now having to deal with some base runners, but trying to get his second out of the inning here, which would be key to getting out of the inning in general, as this one is fouled off. Now it seems like Archbishop Carroll giving the Hawks a bit of taste of their own medicine with fouling these pitches off.
Yeah, Miritu just seems so ready. You already see him ready for the next pitch.
We'll see if Miritu Rupertus gives McNally anything to swing at. He does, as it's fouled off. And McNally, you know, he's seen all these players foul the pitches off behind the plate. You know, maybe he's saying something. You never know. Rupertus. Seems like the first time today I've seen him take off his glove at the mound. That is how locked in he has been today. But he's looking for his second out of the inning with Nolly staying alive at the plate. Rupertus doesn't look anyone back, has not done it really at all this inning. As he puts them down on the off-speed, mirror to Rupertus, getting back in this inning. He has struck out 7 today as Barnes comes to the plate. Sittler shifting a bit to his right or left. As Barnes hits this one foul. It looks like it's staying in play. Vezza running in on it. And he makes the catch! Beautiful catch from Pat Vezza to end the top half of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th here on WSJP. I mean, Pat Vezza, he just seems like a magnet to incredible catches. We saw the one against Father Judge, and now we see this one. There's been a couple of others. I mean, Vezza making up for that one that went over his head in the beginning of the inning.
Yeah, definitely a great multi-tool player. Hits very well in the 2-hole. Great fielder out and right. I mean, does everything you want him to.
7-8-9 leading off for St. Joe's Prep, Matthews, Orespi, and Van Deen. Matthews was one of the runners to come across the plate for St. Joe's Prep as he walked in his first appearance. And we'll see if he can fare maybe the same fate or even a base hit. That would be beautiful as well. Stanicki out for his 4th inning of work. Both teams not really letting up on their pitching, keeping their starters in there. But today for St. Joe's Prep, as I mentioned, not many base runners today. They have had 6. They've brought 3 across the plate. So, I mean, you know, you score 50% of your runners is, you know, what we're saying here. I mean, that's
pretty good.
I mean, as I said it during the earlier in the broadcast, baseball is a game of failure, and it doesn't really seem like the Prep they're failing too much today. But the Hawks also batting 364 today as a team. That is another noteworthy note. I don't know, is that another way to say that? But anyway, something very noteworthy for St. Joe's Prep here today. They've played really great at the plate, but they've got to keep things going as we still have 3 innings of work. Well, 3.5 innings of work, I should say. Cristiano, I can't get these technicals right today. I don't know what it is. This is not good.
Just a bit off.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I might have to get somebody from the dugout. Maybe well, Alex Orespi, he contributes to WSJP as well. Who else? Cole Kuhn, Assistant Director of Visuals for WSJP. Anybody else? I don't think anybody else is in there.
I believe that's it.
I mean, we could get the other Ryan Sullivan
to
come up here and maybe do some play-by-play for an inning or two.
I mean, imagine the 2 Ryan Sullivans on the mic together.
Oh, I don't know how that would work. You know, I think I've said this before, but we were both in freshman year. We were both in the same religion class.
Oh, jeez, that must have been rough.
That was kind of rough. I've said this on the broadcast before. I think I told it to Mark Jameson. I don't remember.
Yeah, I've never had that problem. I've got
not many Cristiano
not really.
Forcinas
Yeah,
out
not
there.
really.
I mean, Ryan Sullivan. I don't know how. I guess that. Well, there's 3 Ryan Sullivans in the school, so I mean, I guess it is that. I guess it is common. I don't know.
Somehow 2 of them.
I mean,
grade.
there's like that Ryan meetup thing on Instagram. You ever see that?
No.
I gotta show you. It's so cool. I gotta go to one. It looks so cool. Denny Matthews up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep. First pitch, a bit on the outside. McNally wanted that call, and he got it. Strike 1. I gotta show you the Ryan. Dude, all right. At the end of the inning, I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. Matthews swings on the next pitch on the outside. Quick 0-2. Matthews, as I mentioned earlier, had a walk in his first appearance. Was able to stay alive like many hitters for St. Joe's Prep here today. Pitch again on the outside, strike 3. Matthews not liking it at all, but he goes down on strikes. Stanicki getting his 5th strikeout of the game. A lot of those pitches did seem a bit low and on the outside. Alex Orespi coming up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep. Orespi 0 for 1 today, but he was able to get a run to score from third as he grounded out. First pitch in for a strike on the off-speed. Stanicki. 4 straight strikes for him. Or technically 5 straight strikes. Once again, I can't get these technicals down. I'm just going to stop. Oresby fouls this one back into the netting. Look at Van Deen being a man form with others, getting the ball to the catcher.
Perhaps motto.
That is, I mean, there's just a lot of men form with others out there.
I mean, you walk in every classroom, you see it right
That's
by the
true.
door.
See the mission of the prep in every room. 0-2 to Oresby. Stan Nicky having a good start to this inning. Oresby chases on that one, goes down on strikes. 2 strikeouts in the inning. George Van Deen, the 9-hole hitter, coming up for St. Joe's Prep. 0 for 1 today.
Yeah, Van Deen having a pretty good season.
Yeah.
438, 18 plate appearances.
Van Deen hits this one into left center field, and it will get down for a base hit. He holds it at first base. You never know with George Van Deen. He might take second just on how fast he is, but he holds at first. And the Hawks get a runner on with 2 outs. Probably not the best position you want to be in to get a hit, but you will definitely take it if you are George Van Deen. Emilio Iannicone coming up for St. Joe's Prep.
Yeah, Van Deen's a great guy to have on base, especially with this top of the order coming up. He's got 4 stolen bases on the season.
Yeah, he led the PCL in stolen bases last season with 20. Not taking the biggest lead at first, but he is going to steal nonetheless. That one, a good throw down, as this one will go into center field. Van Deen going to go to third as well. And we just talked about how fast he was, and he advances from first all the way to third.
He's got an elite level of base running, as you said. Led the PCL in stolen bases. He's having a great year when it comes to stolen bases so far through PCL play. So let's see if Prep can capitalize on this runner in scoring position.
Well, I just talked about how, you know, it wasn't the greatest thing to have 2 outs and the runner on first. You would preferably want to have, like, no outs, but now this runner on third. And just, you know, a base hit from Iannicone gets him in, as this one's way inside 1-0. I guess I shouldn't have doubted George Van Deen.
Yeah, Iannicone 1 for 2 today with a single. So let's see if he can take himself to 2-3.
Let's see. Second pitch to Iannicone in the dirt. Van Deen was about a quarter of the way down the baseline before he decided to hold back at third.
You can kind of see the look in his eyes. Even
Yeah,
though. It's kind of hard to see. He wanted to steal that.
He wants it. He wants to get all the way around the bases with the ball not being even in play. Stan Nicky fires, puts it in the dirt, throw down to third. This one dropped by Barnes as Emilio Iannicone gets on. And there will be a mound visit for Archbishop Carroll. You have to assume that that is Stan Nicky's day.
Yeah, especially with Veza coming up. 2 for 2 on the day with 2 singles. Scored twice. Scary player.
And yeah, that will do it for Stan Nicky on the day, but a very, very solid day for him. 6 strikeouts today. Held the Prep down to 3 runs. 2 of his earned runs are on base. As Archbishop Carroll, they will make the pitching change, and we'll take a break on WSJP. We'll be back in a few moments. During the break, I forgot to show Cristiano the Ryan meetup. Complimentary runner, Colin Stoner going to first. Or actually, they all have the blonde hair. John Weaver on first base for St. Joe's Prep.
Yeah, I mean,
With a bleach hair, I'm sorry.
The team bleached
Yeah.
at the beginning of
Right.
the season was kind of crazy. I mean,
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
came back from spring break, I believe, and
Yeah.
half the school has bleached hair.
Two of the fastest runners on base for St. Joe's Prep. Van Deen on third. Weaver at first. But on the mound for Archbishop Carroll, and there will already be a mound visit, it is Bennett Bishop. Bishop, he did not play last season due to injury, but this is a guy that tops at 91 miles an hour. Also committed to Duke. Fellow commit like our guy, Cole Kuhn.
Cole Kuhn.
Yeah.
Great pitcher.
Yeah, both great pitchers, but Bishop in this season, 1.1 innings pitched. He does have a 10.5 ERA. Next pitch low, 2-0. Bishop coming in here to relieve for Archbishop Carroll. Lefty on lefty, and Veza with the 2 hits. Probably the smartest decision made by the coaching staff.
Yeah, they'll also be able to get him likely next inning for Grasso and Ward too.
Yeah.
Especially with how Ward's smashing the ball this season. Again, lefty on lefty.
Next one right down the plate, 2-1 to Pat Veza. Veza has those 2 base hits, as we mentioned today. Veza, he has also scored 2 runs for the Prep. Takes this one high, check swing, 3-1, and Bishop wants the infield umpire to decide, but he says Veza did not go around either. The Hawks with an opportunity for bases loaded and 2 outs. That one, low, ball 4. Take your base, Pat Veza. Chris Grasso up to the plate with bases loaded and 2 outs.
Yeah. I mean, battle of 2 elite D1 players. Both ACC guys going to be there facing off in each other maybe in a few years even.
Good point. We get to see a preview live here on WSJP. Look at that. No better place than the only place to watch St. Joe's Prep baseball. Another mound visit momentarily as Chris Grasso looks to drive in 1 run and possibly 2. Van Deen on third. We just saw him take 2 bases a few moments ago. John Weaver has been the complimentary runner for Emilio Iannicone, and Pat Veza, who has scored 2 runs today. I don't think you would want any other 3 guys on if you're St. Joe's Prep, as Chris Grasso takes the first pitch a bit inside, but it's called for a strike.
Yeah, Grasso still no hits on the day, shockingly, especially considering 3-hitter and stuff, but looking to get his first of the day, bringing run or 2.
He did get on with a hit by pitch and also stole a base. As he fouls this one up, it does go out of play. Oh, and 2 quickly to Chris Grasso. Will Ward on deck for St. Joe's Prep. He has an RBI double already in this game. But Chris Grasso would love to drive in a couple of runs for the Hawks and get this one in their favor by a wide margin. Grasso ready to take the pitch. Bishop delivers. Grasso check swings, but it doesn't matter. He goes down looking. The Hawks leave bases loaded. Bennett Bishop gets out of the inning for Archbishop Carroll. We go to the top of the 5th. St. Joe's Prep, though, still with a 3-0 lead nonetheless. Mira Rupertus out for his 5th inning of work here on WSJP, live at Rutgers Camden. I'm Ryan Sullivan, joined by Cristiano Forcina. Nick Gilroy up to the plate for Archbishop Carroll. He's 0 for 1 today. Rupertus puts the first pitch low and to the backstop. 1-0. Coming into the last inning, there were no base runners for Archbishop Carroll, but they were able to get 2 across the plate. Rupertus was able to shut it down without a run given up. But we'll see if Archbishop Carroll can possibly build off of that, as that one is fouled back to Iannacone. We gotta hope that is a sign for Archbishop Carroll if you are a fan watching at home and if you are the coaching staff for the Patriots. Umpire goes out to the plate to deliver the ball to Rupertus. I'm not sure if he's giving him I'm sure if he's talking to him. I'm not really sure what the deal was there, but Coach Muth delivering signs to the Hawks. Coach Muth, he has been active today. Hasn't really been loud, but he's been very active to his outfielders. We know how great the Hawks do their scouting. I mean, they have been able to be at the right place at the right time. You've seen Pat Vezza make a few great catches this season. 1-1 for Rupertus. Off speed, great framing. That deserves a strike.
Yeah, they definitely did their studying, watched their film for this game. It's a great hitting performance. It feels like they just know what he's throwing. They're fouling off every pitch.
Gilroy goes down swinging. Iannacone has to make the throw over to first, and he does for the strikeout. Mira to Rupertus. I don't know if there's any other ways to say have yourself a day. One out in the inning. Gilroy, that was his 2nd strikeout today. Tancredi coming up to the plate for Archbishop Carroll. 0 for 1 today. Tancredi swings on that one on the off speed. Mira to Rupertus. He is cooking and he is locked in on the mound. Probably not too happy about the last inning. If it's not perfection, it's not for Mira to Rupertus. Off speed again, but it's a bit too high. Iannacone jumps a bit to his right. Tancredi awaits. Heat from Rupertus as it's hit directly to Alex Orespi, and he makes the throw over to first for the 2nd out of the inning. Panici up for Archbishop Carroll as he is getting up with 2 outs. You know, the Prep, though, in the last inning, Cristiano, they had 2 outs, and they were able to put bases loaded. Archbishop Carroll, maybe hopefully for them they can do the same.
Yeah, maybe, honestly. I mean, Rupertus, such a tough pitcher to hit against. His off speed's moving very nicely tonight. His heat's there. I mean, it's tough, but you never know. Carroll's a good team.
That one goes above Panici's head. Once again, we've seen a few pitches today get away from Rupertus, but as we've seen for the most part with his 8 strikeouts, it has been all gas, no brakes for Mira to Rupertus, as he looks to continue that, but he is down 2-0 in the count. This one a bit too high once again over Panici's head, 3-0. Maybe both teams just trying to copy each other here, get on with 2 outs. Mira to Rupertus. Receiving some call from Coach Muth, or maybe that is the outfield.
Yeah, it seems like Bandine and Grasso out there. Shifting over to their left.
3-0 from Mira 2. High ball 4. Archbishop Carroll get another base runner here. That's Rupertus' first walk of the day. He did get a hit by pitch in this game, but nonetheless, Mira 2 Rupertus once again trying to get out of the inning.
Yeah, Paniki's able to draw himself a walk. I mean, 600 on base percentage coming into this game. I mean, he's getting on base. Now they've got runner on.
Pinch hitter for Archbishop Carroll to be Ricky Evans. 333 average and 21 plate appearances. 6 hits for him on the season. 6 runs batted in. That's tied for second on the team, so definitely somebody you would want coming up to keep the inning alive. First pitch, high ball one. As the train passes by here at Rutgers Camden.
Yeah, such a beautiful field. I don't know
Yeah.
how many times we're going to say it throughout this broadcast.
Yeah, this is really great. The bridge is lit up too. Second pitch, good framing from Iannicone, but called for a ball nonetheless. Rupertus has pitched 6 straight balls here in the last 2 batters, trying to get back into his groove. Rupertus takes a deep breath at the mound. That one's right down the plate, and it will be called for a strike. Rupertus, I mean, he is just right back to the mound and likes the call from Iannicone, not wasting any time. That one right down the plate again, and he gets Evans swinging on it. 6 straight balls, 2 straight strikes as Miritu Rupertus looks to end the inning. Evans steps back into the batter's box. Miritu Rupertus likes the call from Emilio Iannicone, trying to get the bats of the Hawks back up here. Takes a deep breath. He sets, fires, delivers. That one goes to the backstop, and it will advance Panici over to second. So he advances on a pass ball. It's a full count. But once again, Miritu Rupertus, another opportunity to end the inning here. Archbishop Carroll once again getting a runner in scoring position. Second straight time that they have done that in separate innings. Nobody holding Panici on over at second. Hopping around a bit. Rupertus doesn't seem to care as he puts it in on the off speed. Got him looking. Miritu Rupertus once again getting out of the inning with no damage done. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Cristiano, it has been all Miritu Rupertus.
I mean, 9 strikeouts so far, 5 innings of work. It just doesn't get more dominant than that. That's the kind of things you see out of him. I mean, came into the game with a 0 ERA. It's such a good season.
It has been domination from Miritu Rupertus. But now, Cristiano, we go to the 5th inning. We go to the hitting from St. Joe's Prep. While it's been, great pitching from Miritu Rupertus, pretty much all dominance, you feel like in the next inning or two, the Hawks, they got to put this one away with the bats.
I think so, too. I mean, Bennett Bishop's a tough pitcher, so let's see if they can maybe get a run off him. I mean, he's got a pretty shockingly high ERA this season so far with a 10.5. So maybe Prep can put one on.
You don't expect that to continue, though, if you are Archbishop Carroll.
Yeah, the Duke commit. Lefty pitcher, throws gas. You said committed to Duke. Kid's got talent.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Feels like there's so much talent here on this field.
Yeah, I just took the words out of your mouth. But Will Ward will step up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep, as he is 1 for 2 today.
Yeah, Ward continues to put together an amazing season so far. I don't know how many times we can say he's just such a great player.
No doubt about it, as there will be the throw down to second base. We'll get Will Ward to lead off for St. Joe's Prep, and this is kind of what you wanted if you're Archbishop Carroll. You wanted to, get rid of Pat Bezza with a lefty, whether that was a walk, which did happen, or the out. Now you get Will Ward, who's a lefty, and you get Jack Keenan up, and, if things go south, you get Danny Matthews, who's a lefty. So I would definitely say good coaching from Archbishop Carroll.
Yeah, also you got to think about the righty side of the ball, too.
Right.
I mean, Chris Grosso is a great pitcher. You want to put your best guy against him. You kind of have to.
Right.
I mean, one little mistake, and next thing you know, Grosso's taking one deep left field for a homer.
Will Ward fouls the first pitch. It did go in play after the fact that it was fouled. Ward circles the circle. Jack Keenan on deck for St. Joe's Prep. As I mentioned, Ward, 1 for 2 today, has probably been the overall best hitter for St. Joe's Prep. And I talked to Chris Grasso earlier today, and we were talking about, the hitting on St. Joe's Prep. And I was saying, Will Ward, man, he's playing really great. And, Grasso definitely was like, yeah, I mean, he's one of our best hitters. This is the guy right here. And There's a reason for it as he takes the next pitch low, 1-1. Next pitch low again, 2-1 to Ward. Bishop wasting little time as he puts this next one down the plate. 2-2. The Hawks, they were making Stan Nicky pitch a lot. Bennett Bishop has been making sure that not much has been fouled off from the Hawks as he's right back to it. Ward takes this one on the outside. First full count for Bennett Bishop. As I mentioned, Keenan on deck, Sittler in the hole for the Hawks. Bishop right back at it. Puts this one way inside. Will Ward gets on with a walk. Four walks total on the day for St. Joe's Prep as Jack Keenan will now step up. He is 0 for 1 today, but he did reach on an error to get on base for St. Joe's Prep. Has Will Ward off of first. Ward, not the biggest steal threat for the Hawks. We have seen a lot of Prep guys steal bases today as Keenan takes the first pitch for a strike.
Keenan batting .300 on the season. I mean, puts one in play. Could potentially move a guy into scoring position. So, let's see.
Well, that one goes to the backstop. Will Ward, I mentioned he's not a big steal threat, but it doesn't really matter as he gets on the pass ball.
Yeah, it's just like I said it. Now we have a guy in scoring position. Keenan, 4 RBIs on the season. Not the most, but still pretty good.
Cristiano, say he's going to hit a home run. He might do it.
He's going to hit a home run.
All right, well, let's see. Let's hope that wasn't announcer's jinx. Knock on wood if you're at home. That one in for a strike. Beautiful pitch from Bishop, just on the inside.
I mean, he very well could hit one out. I mean, left field fence is not nearly as ginormous as right field.
That's fair.
Definitely got the advantage. Also, lefty-righty.
Yeah. Keenan swings on that one, and he goes down on strikes. Franny Seaman going to be the complimentary runner for Will Ward over at second base as John Sittler will come up. Sittler 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. 1 out in the inning. Sittler now has 7 strikeouts on the year. We've seen Sittler chase on a couple of occasions this season. Hopefully for him, though, he can knock in Franny Seaman. Sittler showing bunt. This one goes to the backstop. Franny Seaman gets the third on the pass ball. The Hawks have been able to get 2 bases on pass balls just in this inning.
Yeah, and so now you got a guy on third. I mean, realistically, fly ball into the outfield can drive him in.
Yeah.
Franny Seaman, tall guy, got a long stride, contributes to that speed of his. So, we'll see. Maybe Prep can knock one in.
Franny Seaman, 4 runs scored this season. Has 4 stolen bases. As Sittler will try to knock him in as he hits this one foul, and it will go out of play. Good to see Sittler make contact after he struck out swinging in his first 2 at-bats, but he faces Bennett Bishop this time, and as you mentioned, Cristiano, the lefty on righty. But Danny Matthews coming up to the plate next for St. Joe's Prep. Infield a bit in. Barnes is the only one playing on the turf. And that is going to be a balk. That is going to be a balk called on Bennett Bishop. Franny Seaman will come in home. And St. Joe's Prep, they score a run without anything being in play.
I know, quite crazy, honestly, how the sport works.
That was something there. Franny Seaman scores a run for the Hawks as Sittler takes the next pitch for a ball. You know, Cristiano, I talked about how the Prep, you wanted to see them put the game away with the bats, but it doesn't really seem like they need to do that. They just scored pretty easily there.
Yeah, they're putting together great at-bats, drawing walks, able to get guys on base, making great scoring opportunities all game. And eventually they capitalize. So it's good to see what they're doing. Looks
Sittler,
very promising.
Sittler back into the box after the swinging strike, as this one in the same spot, full count. As I mentioned, Danny Matthews on deck for St. Joe's Prep, and we'll see if the Hawks can possibly get another base runner. 3-2. Sittler goes down looking. 3 strikeouts today for John Sittler, as it will bring Danny Matthews up to the plate. Actually, I apologize. That's the second strikeout of the day for Sittler. First pitch to Matthews, in for a strike. Matthews takes that one on the inside. Ball 1.
Matthews was able to get on earlier in the game, which contributed to him eventually scoring a run.
1-2 to Danny Matthews. Time called at the plate by Matthews. Bennett Bishop trying to get out of this inning with just 1 run scored for St. Joe's Prep. 1-2. Off speed, high. Bishop circling the mound. Maybe a bit of a semicircle. Alex Oresby on deck for the Hawks. Matthews today. He is 0 for 1. He reached on a walk as well. As he goes down swinging, Bennett Bishop gets out of the inning with just 1 run scored against St. Joe's Prep. We go to the top of the 6th. We'll take a short break on WSJP. We'll be back in a few moments. Mira to Rupertus out for his 6th inning here at Rutgers Camden. Top of the lineup for Archbishop Carroll. Moore is at the plate as he fouls this one off. Cristiano, it feels like this is obviously this is where Archbishop Carroll needs to get going, but with the top of the lineup coming up, you know, this inning could maybe be their last chance.
Yeah, I agree, honestly, because you got top of the order, best hitters. Miratu's also starting to probably get pretty tired. I mean, 5 innings of work so far. Personally, I'd be gassed by now.
Yeah. We don't have that. We don't have that mirror to Rupertus conditioning,
That's true.
unfortunately. But
That's true. I probably couldn't even make it 2.
yeah, I don't think I could. Right down the plate, blows it by him. I don't even think I could throw as fast as he could. I mean, not even not even in the same stratosphere.
Yeah, not even close.
Not even the same
I
stratosphere.
think maybe I could top out at like 65.
Yeah, I don't even know. Off speed, Rupertus wanted a strikeout there, but unfortunately for him, it's 2-2.
I mean, that looked like a strike to me personally.
Yeah, that one was maybe a bit high in the zone, ticky-tacky there. 50-50 one doesn't always go your way. We don't have ABS challenge here.
I was about to say the exact
Yeah.
same thing. Wish we had ABS.
Oh, man. 2-2 from Rupertus. Off speed, got him looking. Mira to Rupertus. That is 10 on the day. McGaughey up to the plate for Archbishop Carroll. He's 0 for 2 today. Also struck out. Seems like almost all the Archbishop Carroll Patriots have fallen to that same fate. All but 2 actually have fallen to that fate. 1-0. 2-0 now is at 1 on the same spot high. Rupertus has been getting some guys to swing on the high cheese. Most have not gone. Rupertus takes his time this go around as this one is right down the plate. Got him swinging.
Yeah, as I said earlier, Mirror 2. I mean, it's gone quite a while now so far. Perhaps starting to get someone throwing in the bullpen. Can't really see from where we're at who it could be.
It looks like a lefty.
It is a lefty. I think
one of our only lefties is Nolan Cobb, so that is a good assumption. Mirror to Rupertus.
Danny Matthews, maybe.
Oh, yeah, Danny Matthews. Oh, yeah, Danny Matthews. That's a good point. Matthews.
Other Ryan Sullivan. He is listed as a pitcher on the roster.
I mean, yes, he is. He can throw. Danny Matthews, that's a good point. That is a good, not a good point. That's who's in the warming up as this one is fouled back. Matthews, we talked about him earlier in the broadcast as one of the shutdown pitchers. We saw him go 2 innings scoreless against Conwell Egan, and now he maybe looks to end the day if Miratu Rupertus can get out of this 6th inning.
Can even take it back to the Haverford game.
Yeah, 2-2. That one hits off of Iannacone. Credit to the umpire for going out to throw the ball, give Iannacone a little bit of time to rest there after that hit off his shoulder.
Yeah, it's rough.
You love a respectful umpire.
Yeah,
that's good there.
Umpires are so underappreciated. I mean,
Yeah,
they got a tough job.
They do have a tough job. You gotta give them credit. Sometimes even on WSJP they fall criticism. But shout out to all the umpires out there.
Yeah, they gotta make these split-second calls.
Yeah,
that are tough.
That's rough. I don't know if ABS is a good thing for them or a bad thing for them.
I don't know. It kind of feels like it's taking the step of into an era where moving away from them.
This one hit to Sittler. He can't field it cleanly. McCaughey gets into first with a infield single.
Yeah, that's rough from Sittler, honestly. Only his 2nd error of the season, so hopefully it can't get to his head.
Might have reacted just a little bit late there.
Yeah, just a bit. It's a tough play, too.
Yeah, very tough play. That one was high. It bounced a little late there. But Archbishop Carroll trying to get back into this game. And we mentioned probably one of their best chances to get back into this game as Moran steps up with 1 man on and 1 out.
Yeah, definitely a great chance, especially the righty-lefty matchup here.
The Hawks' fielding has been impeccable today. So just a little mistake. Not really much to worry about as this one will hit Moran. 2 runners on with 1 out.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might have called it, sadly, but Carroll's getting their opportunity right now to potentially punch in some runs.
We'll see if Coach Muth decides to keep in Rupertus, as that is the 2nd hit by pitch of the day for Moran, so he has been a magnet for that. McNally up to the plate. Rupertus, he's dealt with this before. Runners on 1st and 2nd. He was able to get out of the inning. That was in the 4th, but now has to deal with it in the 6th. First pitch, that one hits McNally straight in the back. And now bases are loaded with the tying runner Barnes coming up to the plate.
Yeah, that's rough. Puts Carroll in a situation where game-tying runs up to the plate.
Coach Cavallaro coming out for a mound visit with Rupertus and the infield. We'll see how they plan to face this. Matthews not warming up anymore, so Rupertus could be facing his last batter of the day. We'll see if Coach Muth wants him to finish the inning. You have to assume, though, if a run is given up, then this will be Rupertus' last batter. Barnes, he is 0 for 2 today. He struck out once against Rupertus. But now Mira 2 Rupertus has not had to face this much adversity today. Bases loaded with 1 out.
Carroll's got their chance. Tying run at the dish. Well hit ball. We got ourselves a game.
There will be a complimentary runner going to second for Archbishop Carroll. Will be Hefferan at second. Mayor 2 Rupertus going to have to deal with some speedy runners on the bases for Archbishop Carroll. But he's now going to have to deal with Barnes at the plate as he blows it right by him for a strike. That one might have been a bit on the outside. They had the check for a check swing. Home plate umpire making the call. 0-1 to Barnes. Rupertus takes his time at the mound as Barnes fouls this one off. It's a quick 0-2. A strikeout or just any out from Mira 2 Rupertus. Preferably a strikeout would be the most preferable option.
Yeah, Rupertus has the room. 0-2 count. Again, no balls. He could potentially try to put one outside the zone.
Got him! Swinging there on the check swing. Mira 2 Rupertus. 11 strikeouts today. Gilroy up to the plate with 2 outs. Quiet as a mouse here at Rutgers Camden. Off speed high, 1-0.
Gilroy also no hits off of Rupertus yet today. 2 strikeouts actually, so see if Rupertus can continue the trend.
Looking to continue that indeed for Mira 2 Rupertus. This one is hit straight to Alex Orespi. He fields it cleanly and makes the play over at first to end the inning. Mira 2 Rupertus dominating, facing adversity. It doesn't matter. He holds Archbishop Carroll to no runs scored, leaves 3 on the base, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Cristiano, now the Hawks, you want to get maybe some runs, more insurance runs, but now it feels like you got to rely on your pitching.
Yeah, honestly, now at the point in the game, there's not much more you need from, well, actually, throughout the entire game, there's not much more you could ask for from the hitting perspective. I mean, you're getting guys on base. They're driving in their runs, so can't ask for much more from them. But then again, pitching, can't count it out. It's just been so dominant today. Rupertus, quite the pitcher.
Did we talk about the Ryan meetup on the broadcast?
You showed me the page. You did talk about it a few times.
I did talk about it? Okay, I didn't realize. I thought we didn't. I thought we didn't talk about
like
it.
2 or 3 times, but you did show me the page. You going to be attending?
I mean, if they come back, I didn't know they came to Philly. My mother was actually the one to show it to me, and I heard of it, but I wasn't like, I don't know. I guess I just didn't understand it, and now I'm like, oh, if they ever come back to Philly, I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, it feels like you got to get together. You, the other Ryan Sullivan on the team.
We need the 2 other Ryan Sullivans, and we need Ryan Connaughton.
I was about to say Ryan Connaughton.
Ryan Connaughton, contributing member of WSJP. Soon to be executive, though. We have elections coming up in a couple of weeks, though, on WSJP. Myself, Dom Schultz, the current president. We have Dom Camp as the assistant vice president. Or not the assistant vice president. He's the Dom Camp, the vice president. We have Anthony Sorgi as the assistant. And then we got the two director of visuals, Drew Brousseau and Cole Kuhn, who's on the team for St. Joe's Prep. We talk about him a lot here.
Yeah, he's obviously a vital member of WSJP with his role as an executive.
Very vital.
He's also quite the athlete.
Yeah, very quite the athlete. Cristiano, you're running though. You got a campaign.
I do plan to run.
That one hits off of McNally. Hope he's okay. It hit off his knee.
Yeah, that
as
was
he
a bit
makes
rough.
the throw down. Alex Orespi starting things off for the Hawks, so we'll be 8-9-1. Orespi, Van Deen, and Iannicone. You like Must Be the I forget what the song's called. It's not Must Be the Money, is it?
Yeah,
That's just like the thing that
the
gets
part that
everybody
everybody knows.
Yeah, the part that everybody knows. I don't know. It is what it is. Alex Orespi up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. And he swings on that one out of the glove of McNally. 0-1. I'm not like in on the pop culture. I'm not cool. I'm just not that
No,
cool.
you're a cool guy, Ryan.
Oh,
Don't worry.
Oh, thank you, Cristiano.
Yeah, I feel like lately I haven't really been up with the pop culture either.
Well, we got a lot to do.
I know.
Spring of sophomore year is it's a time.
It is.
You got your work, and and then, I mean, personally, last year I was once again, I was pretty much every baseball game doing all this stuff. Orespi swings to the next pitch, and I feel, it's actually pretty much the same thing this year. I don't know, I'm just
True.
just a simple guy.
Just think about it. I think we wrap up like actual classes and new material and stuff and head into the review days about
Wow.
a month from tomorrow, I believe it is.
That's crazy. Orespi swings and misses on that next one, not liking it as he goes back to the dugout. He goes out on strikes for the third time today, as George Van Deen will step up to the plate for the Hawks.
Yeah, you'll be heading into your senior year.
Oh, jeez. What a time that's going to be.
I'm only halfway done.
You're only halfway done.
It's really flown by.
Both coming from the great school of Waldron Mercy Academy.
Oh, yeah. Amazing school.
Van Deen swings and misses on that first one. Bishop throwing strikes. The Hawks not able to make contact. Do we have any Waldron guys on the baseball team? I don't think so. Not on the varsity squad.
I don't know if we have any on JV either.
I don't know. It's all right. We'll get
Maybe
one.
I think we do on freshmen then.
Okay. Next one, another strike for Bishop. It's a quick 0-2. Yeah, I'm not sure. Quick 0-2 to Van Deen. Bishop delivers, and he gets some chasing on that one. 2 straight strikeouts for Bennett Bishop. Emilio Iannico now up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep as the leadoff.
Yeah, you've seen everything really change for Carroll once Bishop came in. He's been lights out.
Will be his last batter of the day. Bennett Bishop gives up 1 run for Archbishop Carroll. Does not let it get out of control. Saved a bases loaded opportunity for the Prep as Archbishop Carroll. They will get the pitching change. They will bring in Ricky Evans, and we'll take a break on WSJP. We'll be back in a few moments. Emilio Iannicone up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep as the leadoff for today as he takes this pitch on the inside, ball one. Evans on the mound for Archbishop Carroll. This season he has only pitched .1 inning, but he did not let up any runs in that appearance. 2 balls now to Iannicone. Evans looking to end things in this inning for Archbishop Carroll. Ball low, 3-0 to Iannicone.
Yeah, Iannicone, 3-0 count. He's already got on base today via a walk, so see if he can do it again.
Iannicone looking to replicate that fade as Evans puts this one low. Ball 4, take your base, Emilio Iannicone on 4 pitches. His second walk of the day as Pat Vezza comes up to the plate for St. Joe's Prep. He's 2 for 2 today with a walk as well. McNally and Evans meeting at the mound.
Can't forget about that RBI. That ball was absolutely crushed off the wall. I won't be surprised if he does another.
And we'll see if he can do so. John Weaver, complimentary runner. Do I even have to say it anymore?
So fast.
I know, it happens just like that. Weaver's ready to roll. Give credit, though, Weaver today does have a stolen base. Unfortunately got out on the double steal earlier in the game. Beautiful framing behind the plate from McNally, called for a strike. Vezza steps back into the batter's box quickly. Evans, his first pitch in this appearance. On the outside, ball 1. Weaver, solid lead off first. High and away. McNally has to get out of his stance to get that one. It's 2-1.
Yeah, I won't be shocked if Weaver takes off on this pitch here.
He does not, but Vezza takes it low, 3-1. Got to give credit to McNally, though. He's made some good throwdowns today. There have just been a couple of pitches that have been a bit wild on pass balls.
Yeah, his throwdowns, like you said, have been pretty good. I remember there was the one that just got away from the shortstop.
That one called for a strike. Throw down to first. Moran catches it. Doesn't really look like he was ready for it nonetheless. It's 3-2. That would have been disastrous for Archbishop Carroll if that would have gotten away. Weaver possibly could have gotten to third. We saw Van Deen do it earlier today. Full count to Vezza. He swings late on that one. And that ends the inning. St. Joe's Prep, they get a runner on. They can't do anything with it. We go to the top of the 7th. And we will see who comes out to pitch for the Hawks. And Miratou Rupertus is making his way out to the mound, looking to get a complete game. We'll see if he can do it when we come back on WSJP in a few moments. Back on WSJP, Miratou Rupertus looking for the complete game shutout over Archbishop Carroll. It's been a great day here on WSJP, and if you like everything that you've seen, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with everything St. Joe's Prep Sports. As I mentioned, Mira Rupertus looking for that complete game shutout. First pitch, drops it in for a strike. On Wednesday, we'll have baseball 4 p.m. versus Newman Goretti at FDR Park. Myself, Sam Salamone on the call. Then on Friday, we take the trip down to D.C. to take on St. John's College High School. I'll be on the mic for that one. High ball from Mira Rupertus. And then on Saturday, myself, Anthony Sorgi, on the call. Lacrosse takes on Springfield Delco in one of the biggest out-of-league matchups of the season for St. Joe's Prep Lacrosse. 1-on-1 from here, too. Check swing from Tancredi. He holds back for a ball. Tancredi 0 for 2 today. I apologize. Oh, yeah, he is 0 for 2 today. I thought I was reading that wrong. 2-1 from Rupertus. Heat on that one. On the outside, 3-1. You have to think that Coach Muth is going to be very precautious with Miritu on the mound. Doesn't want to give up a base runner.
Yeah, I imagine, honestly, that they could leave him in, even if they get a guy on first.
Heat again from Rupertus. Good framing from Iannicone. Full count to Tancredi.
Let's see if Miritu can pick up yet another strikeout.
Heat from Rupertus. This one hit past him. Arespi can't make the play over at second. This will roll just past the infield, and it'll be a infield hit for Tancredi.
Yeah, that looks to be the end of it for Rupertus, maybe.
Coach Muth going out to the mound. Normally when it's a mound visit, it's Coach Cavallaro. Rupertus shaking his head no. He doesn't want to come out of the game, but I think Coach Muth is going to pull him nonetheless. Maybe he's just shaking his head no. I didn't want to give up that run, but give all the credit in the world to Miritu Rupertus. Round of applause from him. The team comes out to meet him just outside of the dugout. Danny Matthews looking to close for St. Joe's Prep. And we'll take a break on WSJP. We'll be back in a few moments. Danny Matthews coming out for St. Joe's Prep. He's kind of been that closer for the Hawks this season. That's a role he stepped into. A 1.14 ERA for Matthews. 7 hits given up in 12.1 innings pitched. Also 15 strikeouts for Matthews this season. First pitch to Davin, who is the pinch hitter for Archbishop Carroll, is for a ball.
Yeah, Davin's having a pretty good season in the limited amount of at-bats he's been able to have. Only 13 plate appearances, but a 375 average.
Throw back to first. They've got Tancredi in a rundown. And a tag from Sittler to get him out, the first out of the inning for St. Joe's Prep. Danny Matthews doesn't even have to deliver a pitch to get the first out.
Looks like he slipped actually twice
Yeah,
there.
it did look. He slipped a couple
That's
of times.
rough.
Slipped on the run back to first and slipped when Sittler was going to tag him. Unfortunate for Tancredi. Danny Matthews, I said no pitches. He had to get one out. He only had to pitch one, so not perfection for Danny Matthews there. But you know what? They still get the out.
Still get the out. That's what wins you games.
That is what wins you games. Davin going to have to adjust now with no runners on. Danny Matthews puts it in the strike zone. Good framing from Iannacone behind the plate.
Yeah, as I was saying, Davin, 375 average, very limited at-bats. So, we'll see. Maybe he can get on here, give Carroll some life in this top of the 7th inning.
Off speed for Matthews, low and inside, 2-1. That one hit straight to Will Ward. Calls off Matthews, steps on the bag for the out. 2 outs now in the inning. St. Joe's Prep looking to close this one out with Evans coming to the plate.
Yeah, Ricky Evans took the mound last inning. Was able to get that final out, get Carroll out of their little jam.
Now the last hope for Archbishop Carroll. This one makes the umpire jump.
333 average through 21 plate appearances. So, never know. Looking to add that last little bit of life to potential crazy comeback for Carroll.
Right down the plate, Evans realizes the error of his ways on that one. He's quickly going to step back into the batter's box as it's 1-1. Encouragement from the dugout of St. Joe's Prep. Off speed, good framing, called for a ball. Matthews gets Evans to swing in the turf. 2-2. Archbishop Carroll down to their final strike today as Danny Matthews looks to close things out at Rutgers Camden, and he'll step off the rubber for a moment. Here we go. Danny Matthews to have the shutout for St. Joe's Prep. He will not get it. The Hawks infield wanted it, but it's called for a ball, a full count. Archbishop Carroll trying to live to see another batter. As Danny Matthews likes to call at the plate from Iannacone. The claps from the bench. Here we go. Evans hits this one to Arespi. Fields it cleanly. Throw over to first. Made for the out. St. Joe's Prep get the win. Still undefeated in the PCL. They go to 8-2 on the season as they take down Archbishop Carroll.
I mean, it's a great win from the Prep. Dominating pitching throughout the entire game. The bats were able to come alive, get runners on base. They could have capitalized on it a little more than they did, but they were still able to get the job done today, I'd say.
Yeah, 238 batting average for St. Joe's Prep in this game. We're used to seeing those high 300 numbers, but you know what? Sometimes 238 is all you need. St. Joe's Prep getting a 4-0 win over Archbishop Carroll. They stay undefeated in PCL play, and they will move on to play Newman Goretti on Wednesday. That'll do it here from Rutgers, Camden, St. Joe's Prep, getting the 4-0 win over Archbishop Carroll. From myself, Ryan Sullivan, my color analyst, Cristiano Forcina, we say thank you, have a good night, and go Prep.